Thanks for joining me today. I'm Suzanne and we are going to do advanced stretching today. I will not be cueing with any kind of props. However, you are welcome to have something like a yoga strap, a belt, resistance band, a t-shirt, anything that's going to help you get into a stretch better, you're welcome to use. This is also designed to be done post-workout, so make sure your muscles are warm and you're ready to go. Let's go ahead and lie back on our backs. Pulling our knees into our chest and then extending our legs and pulling them in. So you're going to hold on to your leg wherever it's comfortable for you. Calves, hamstrings, ankles, feet, whatever works best for you. It's okay if your low back comes up off the floor. Good. And then bend your knees, hugging those in again. Dropping knees open, releasing our hips and our low back. Knees back in, extend those legs. So hold a little lower on your leg than you did before. And we're going to flex and point. Nice easy motion. Stretching is something that should be relaxing, and we don't want to go into any stretches abruptly. You want to be nice and gentle. Holding our feet flexed, let's release one leg down to the ground. All right, so right away, you're going to feel that pulling through your calf muscle and your hamstrings, maybe even into your low back. If this is too much stretch, you can back off of it with that top leg, or you can bend your bottom leg. We want to try to keep our top knee straight as best we can, so we're really feeling that good stretch in our hamstrings. Relaxing the top foot and see if you can pull that leg in a little bit more. Good. Let's flex and point that top foot. Try to really flex it a little bit more, driving those toes towards the front of your leg. Hold it flexed. If you can, pull that leg in a little bit more. And then relax the foot, and maybe your leg can pull in a little bit more even. Good. Hugging our knee. So make sure your bottom leg is straight if it's not already. And we're just going to open this top knee out to the side. Make sure your shoulders and the back of your hips are in full contact with the floor. And then bringing that knee center, pulling it across, lifting your hip off the ground, so you can release your knee towards the floor. It's okay if your knee doesn't touch the ground, but we're feeling this stretch through our outer hip and thigh. Bring your knee back in center. Other leg comes in as well. And then extending those legs. So again, pulling the back of your legs towards you, wherever's comfortable. You may feel already that the leg that we just stretched is a little longer, okay? And it may not look longer, but it might feel longer. So let's flex our feet. If you want to check and see if your leg length is different, you could put your legs straight up in Pilates stance, heels touching, toes turned out, and you'll be able to see if one heel is higher than the other. So again, pulling legs in, feet are flexed. And then releasing the leg that we already stretched all the way down, nice and easy. Again, if this is too much stretch, back off with your top leg or bend your bottom leg. Keeping that top foot flexed for now. Always breathing, nice and easy. Relaxing that top foot, pull the leg in a little bit more. So even If you can't actually pull your leg in more, I want you to think about lengthening your leg a little bit more and seeing if you can pull it in, okay? You might feel like, all right, I'm at the max. Don't try to overstretch. And then we're gonna flex and point. Easy motion through the ankle. Holding flexed, pulling in. So as I said earlier, I'm not cueing with any kind of props, but you could absolutely be doing all of these things with a yoga strap or some kind of belt. Relaxing the foot, pulling in a little bit more, and then bending our knee into our chest, dropping that knee open, holding on, same arm, same leg, keeping the shoulders and back of the hips in full contact with the floor. Bring it back in center, and then pulling it across. So keeping your knee bent, lifting your hip off the ground. You want your shoulders to stay in full contact with the floor. Bring it back center, and then bring both knees back in. Good, dropping the knees open, holding onto your ankles or lower legs. Now again, I'm not cueing with any kind of props, but you can use one here. I'm going to hold on to my ankle and extend my leg straight out to the side. Or I can hold my foot. Or I can take my hand underneath my leg and extend. So you get the amount of stretch that you need for your body and your range of motion. This other leg remains bent and your knee is pointing out to the other side. And then bringing that leg in, extending the other leg, open out to the side. So again, holding the ankle, holding the foot, holding underneath the leg with the elbow down to support whatever works best for you. Keeping this other knee open out to the side. Good, bring it back in. And just because we're doing a little yoga stretch here, let's take the inside of our feet and lift those feet up. Knees are pointing down towards the ground and open for happy baby. You're a yoga person and you want the full expression of happy baby, you can rock side to side, releasing your back. Or just hold center. And then bringing the bottom of the feet together, knees together. Let's roll ourselves up and turn around so you're in a tabletop position on your mat. So we're actually going to give ourselves some padding for our knees. So double your mat, triple your mat, quadruple your mat, whatever you need to give yourself lots of padding for those knees. And then you're going to kneel on your mat. So again, this is an advanced stretching routine. So we're going to do some advanced things, right? All right, so let's bring one foot out front. Make sure that your knee is at a 90-degree angle here. It could even be a little bit farther out front because we are going to lean into this a little bit. Protecting our joints, being in good body alignment is so important. So please, please always pay attention to your body alignment. So in this position, I'm going to lift my back leg and reach around and see if I can grab on and bring that foot up. If same arm, same leg is too much, you can cross over and do the other side. So if you're not sure what you're stretching here, we're stretching the front of the thigh, the quadriceps. 2 hands if you've got your balance and the range of motion. Good, and then release it down. All right, so I'm gonna take my top leg straight out front, and then I'm gonna bend into it, taking both hands on the inside of my foot. So just letting gravity do the work here. Relaxing into the stretch, dropping my hip on that back leg just down to the ground, feeling the hip flexor stretch. If you're more flexible, you can bring your elbows down to the ground. And then if you want to add even more to the stretch, you can drop your knee open so you're on the side of your foot. All right, so make sure your foot is flat. You're coming back up to your hands. And then we're going to shift our weight back. As I shift back, I'm bringing my toes up in front and I'm pulling back through my hips. So I don't have to be bending down like this to stretch my hip flexor, or my hamstring, sorry. I can be up here. What I don't want to do is lock this knee out. So make sure you've got a little bend to your knee, okay? One hand on either side of the leg if you have your hands down. And we're really getting this stretch from the hips. So we're pulling back, straight back through the hips. Feeling that stretch through our hamstrings. All right, and since we're doing advanced stretching, we're going to slide out and see if we can go into a little bit of a split here. We're going to go straight out and then straight back in and bring those knees next to each other and switch legs. So again, we've got a 90-degree angle with this knee, standing up nice and tall, reaching our foot behind, same arm, same leg. We could do opposite, or we can do both hands, whatever our range of motion allows. Releasing our foot and back, extending the front knee first, and then we're going to sink into that leg. Both hands on the inside of the foot. Relaxing the hip towards the ground. If you're able to, you can drop down to your elbows. Adding on more, if you're able, drop that knee open so you're on the side of your foot. Foot flat to the ground, come on up to your hands. And then we're going to start to sit back through our hips. Toes come up in front, one hand on either side of the leg. Make sure that your leg is in alignment with your hip. So if I stand up here, my hip is here, and I've got my toes, my knees and my toes all in a straight line. And then I can release down. Pulling back through the hips is what is going to stretch my hamstrings. Good, get a real nice stretch there. And then we're just going to slide ourselves back out. See if we can go into our split. And then slide back Knees back to the mat. Good. All right. Sitting up on our feet, you can slide your mat back out. Okay, so let's work on our ankle flexibility a little bit here. Most people can sit on their feet here. Not everybody can sit with their feet here. So we're going to work on that a little bit. I'm actually going to turn and face you. So let's start here. If I were to start with my legs straight, my feet are about hip width apart. And then bend. And then drop those knees out. Okay? Sitting here, I can bring your hands to heart center if you're a yoga person, or just kind of hang out here, have your legs, have your arms resting on your legs. This is a good exercise to do just for ankle strength. To get our ankles more flexible, we're going to bring our hands down and straighten the legs. And let's bring our feet out, just one step out. Make sure your toes are turned slightly in, and let's sink down. All right, now, if you're not able to sink down like this with your feet flat on the ground, try to keep one ankle off the ground and one foot flat. Just feel that stretch, okay? You're stretching out your calf muscles, your gastrocnemius, your soleus. You're feeling that stretch, upper calf, lower calf. And then switch sides. So come up to both toes, drop the other one down, and then relax down. So really try to get that heel down to the ground as much as you can. Both heels up, and then try to relax it down. So even if you can't get all the way down, just try to sit back and relax your ankles as best you can. Good. All right, so have a seat. Get down there however you can. Extending one leg out to the side. And tuck your other foot in towards your body. Okay, flexing the foot protects the knee joint. So let's keep our foot flexed. And then reach that same arm out to your foot. It's okay if you can't reach your foot and you just want to reach onto your shin. But if you can, grab your whole foot. This would be a spot where if you had a prop, you could grab on and be there too. Taking the free arm all the way up, straight up. So notice how I'm sitting with my body open to you, and I'm not turning here. Big inhale. Exhale, try to lean over. So just straight over to the side, like my back is up against the wall, and I'm just leaning over. Stretching that arm over as best I can. Good. Inhale. And then exhale, turn and try to reach your chest down towards your legs. So now I'm bringing both hands towards my foot. Good. Walking up that leg and then turning forward. Let's switch legs. So other leg is out to the side. Toes are up. Reaching my hand out. Lower leg, toes, doesn't matter. Take your arms straight up. So again, chest is open to the front. I'm not turning towards my leg right now. I'm just staying all the way open. Raising my hand up, inhale. Exhale, reach over. So straight over, not leaning forward at all. reaching that arm over as best you can. Make sure you're keeping this other hip down on the ground though. We're not lifting up. Inhale. Exhale, turning towards that leg. So now we're turning our body towards our thigh. And then walking our hand up our leg and come on up. Okay, so let's do one more leg stretch. Both legs out. Make sure you've got your sit bones underneath you. Reaching our hands out. See if you can get your toes. And then we're going to start to lean forward. So again, we want to really sit back through our hips. We don't want to lift our hips off the ground. Keep going down as far as you can. Take your hands to the floor and push yourself up. Take your hands underneath your knees and lift up and bring them in. Good. All right. Take your hands behind you. Feet are just as wide as your mat. Knees are up. Inhale with your knees up, and then exhale, drop them over. So just a real easy, gentle stretch. We're not forcing it. Inhale, knees up. Exhale over the other side. And then one more each side. Good. Bring your knees back together. And then have a seat. All right. So we're just going to do one chest stretch real quick. Big inhale, open up those arms. And then as we exhale, we're going to turn our hands away and reach behind. Grabbing our whole hand behind our back. Pulling the shoulder blades together, keeping our chin level with the ground. Reaching our hands up behind if you want more of a stretch, or down below. We don't want to overstretch our shoulders. And always sit nice and tall here. Good. Inhale, exhale, lean forward. Again, keeping those sit bones down. And let's just stop with our arms parallel to the ground, reaching the crown of our head forward. So even if you can reach your forehead to the floor, I want you to stop here because this is where we're getting the stretch. Pulling our shoulders away from our ears. And then come back up. Release those arms. Big inhale, open up. Exhale, cross over. So try to grab your shoulder blades around your back here. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross the other way. So the arm that was on the top is now on the bottom. And kind of scoot your fingers around your shoulder blades as best you can. Inhale, open. And then exhale, bring it down. All right, we are all done for today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.